Hey everyone, I'm filming the intro to this video in the car today. We are running short on time is what is happening. Last week I was traveling a bunch and I did get sick, so this weekend is sort of the first weekend that I've had time to film or had time to recover from just going right back into the work week. We're currently driving home. We've got Chipotle, we've got Starbucks. So I think I'm gonna do like a collage thing while I drink this Starbucks and heal my throat to do the voiceover. So I'll see you back at the house where we will do our May monthly setup. Okay, hey guys, we're over on the flat lay now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started planning my month. The first space we're gonna hang out after I show you guys all the stickers and ephemera that I'm planning to use in the spreads later is at my monthly spread. As you know, if you've watched any of my other videos, I don't really set up my monthly spread to start as a monthly calendar. I am just using the sticky note that I pre-stick to all my monthlies to write down some essential tasks for the coming month. So I've already written a couple throughout April. I already wrote a couple for May, and I'm just going to be copying those down onto another sticky note, and it will travel around with me. I've also put one of them in my someday maybe list, which is actually the very first item to go on my someday list. Pretty exciting, if I do say so myself. So we'll see if that actually ever gets done. But now we're over into my April monthly, and I am just doing a quick review. I did a tarot reading before in my April setup, and I'm just writing whether or not I felt that, how literal it was, how metaphorical it was. Interestingly enough, I think the Four of Wands that I pulled, if anyone reads tarot, you'll know that that is a very lucky card to pull around a wedding or a relationship, and I actually literally went to a wedding at the end of this month. I don't know why when I was pulling that tarot reading that I didn't think to consider that a literal sort of nod from the tarot deck that I was going to be going to a wedding. But anyways, so I did my review, and on the May monthly setup, I'm actually not going to be doing any sort of tarot pull or divination pull. Right now, I've just been really feeling this sort of scrapbook kind of vintage sticker layering thing that a lot of people do in their bullet journals. I haven't had a lot of luck doing this sort of setup in Hobonichis before because the paper is so thin that almost any amount of bulk you add tends to be significant when you're writing on the next page, and it will distort your writing and your lettering. So I typically don't do this, but since I've discovered the pencil board with this year's Hobonichi, I think I am much more fearless about putting in collages. Similarly, I do try to distribute the weight evenly across the page. So you can see I'm sort of starting with the base layer of the book page at the bottom, and then trying to use thin washi strips and washi tapes in addition to some of the girl stickers. So I'm really just trying to use up some of my stash right now. I think I mentioned in a previous video that I bought like 100 or so of these girl stickers, which have been so much fun to play around with, but I haven't gotten a lot of chance to use them because I was trying not to do too much collage, but I'm giving it a shot now. And here I'm just rehand lettering the word May on a separate piece of paper because I didn't like the way I lettered it in that box. It was actually a sticker in that box, so I'm just going to cut it out later and you'll see me cut this out and paste it over. But yeah, I'm curious anyone else's experience with collaging in their Hobonichi journals, because I have personally found it really to be difficult, but I do really love it, and I love looking at other people's collage books or like vintage journal theme books, whether it's like a bullet journal or a Hobonichi journal. I have just been truly obsessed with watching some bullet journal videos lately. I used to be a bullet journaler, but when I really started grad school, it just became too hard to consistently think of new ideas for a bullet journal theme and to maintain the pages that I had created. Like, creating the pages took me a very valuable hour or two, and then thinking of the theme ideas just made me exhausted, so I never ended up using my bullet journal when I had it because I had just too much to do between school and everything else. So definitely, if you are a grad student, I highly recommend a planner like the Hobonichi ones, or really any planner that you can get off the shelf that has dates and calendars already set up for you, so that when you're really not feeling like doing a big theme or collaging a bunch or putting a bunch of artistic effort into your planner, you can just go with the flow and write on the templates that are provided for you. That's definitely one of my biggest tips for anyone who's deciding. So after grad school, I may go back to bullet journaling, just because, again, I've been vibing so hard on all of the creativity that I see in the community. I feel like the community has really changed since I was in it several years ago, and have moved now to the Hobonichi and pre-set up like Japanese planner world. But yeah, if anyone has any reasons, leave your reasons down below why you think the Hobonichi is better, why you think bullet journaling is better, why you would choose between one or the other. Do you use multiple different types of planners in your setup? I'm so curious to know, since it is kind of so personal and dependent on your life and how you sort of want to organize your tasks. I also do have a complete journal roundup of all the journals and planners that I use in my lineup. It's pretty crazy, but pretty fun. So I'll leave that in the cards if you guys are interested in watching that. But yeah, definitely let me know. I'm super curious. You can see here I'm using a very tiny little X-Acto knife that I actually got from Jet Pens. It's super useful and so compact. Same thing with the scissors that I'm using here. They actually fold up to look like a pen and just tuck away in your pencil case. Super small, super compact, great for on the go. I don't really use an X-Acto knife very often in my journal because it does cut through the Hobonichi papers super easily, but I try to use it here and there when I need to. The washi tape that I'm laying down now is a set. I think I got mine from Notebook Therapy, but I could be wrong. But it's a set that I got. Basically, it's like a green day in the life set. I think they still have it on Notebook Therapy's website, but I have a couple of the other colors as well. And it was one of the first items in my collection for washi tape. My washi tape collection is actually really small, and I really do want to buy more, especially from Notebook Therapy. I just love the collections that they're coming out with lately. But anyways, so I'm trying to use up this green set of washi tape, so you'll see me use it a lot throughout the rest of the journal. Let me know if you like it. Yeah, it's over on Notebook Therapy, but personally for me, I just don't find myself using it enough, which is a bummer. What I'm doing now is just setting up the pages in the weekly section. Tomorrow, I'm recording this on Saturday, so tomorrow is Sunday the 1st, and I have a website launch due on the 1st, so I'm just writing that in and sort of preparing that page for tomorrow. And what I'm actually going to do is go to the weekly section now. So I wanted to set up the monthly page first, just to get my head in the game, so to speak, with sticking things down in my journal and really get the theme down. But you'll see as I go through this spread that I'm mostly just setting in my work schedule and a few sort of other events that I know I have going on through the week. And then some of those blocks, I think in my monthly, or rather in my April Hobonichi Cousin setup video, which linked in the cards if you haven't seen it yet, I think I go over my process for the weekly section, which is just sort of setting down my bedtime, which I'm doing here with the washi tape, one of the thinner ones from the Green Day in My Life set. And then I'm going in and I'm writing it down all my appointments, and then I write out these bracketed blocks of time where I can get other things done, like projects, or I know I'm gonna watch a movie in this particular block, so I'll write movie night, or I know I'm going to be on the train, so I'll write commute, and then I can throw in anything else that I want to do in the empty blocks of time, which usually I have a couple throughout the week. You'll also notice that I don't really go in and fill out the weekend in advance, and that's just because when I'm filling this out in the previous weekend, I don't really know what next weekend is going to look like. My partner and I have not really determined like when we're gonna stick in our regular events that we do on the weekend, like chores or filming YouTube videos, right? I'm not sure what I'm gonna film next weekend, so I just have left that blank, and I'll get to it when I get to it throughout the week. I'm not really too fussed. The weekly section in the Hobonichi has been kind of a mystery box for me lately. I haven't been able to find a system that I really like. It's definitely working for pre-planning, and I can foresee what I have coming up when I use the weekly section, but I've been having trouble going back to it and either backfilling what I've actually done, or memory keeping, or mood tracking. It's just been a little bit difficult for me, so I tend to just write a to-do list on the side and refer back to that every so often to make sure I'm on track. But it's kind of been hard for me to use the weekly section lately, which is weird because it's one of my favorite features about this planner. If you're watching this right now, of course you are because you're listening to my voice, but tell me how you use your weekly section. If you just use it for pre-planning, for memory keeping, if it's what you keep open on your desk. I know a lot of people have this planner because the weekly section is what they actually have open on their desk every day. So just let me know in the comments. I'm super curious your tips and tricks to be able to keep up with the weekly section a little more, because I spend honestly most of my time in the dailies. By the way, I also want to say the washi tape you see in the bottom right corner of this particular spread is not actually from that collection that I was mentioning earlier. The first one, the one on bottom, is from a collection that I sort of randomly got on Amazon. I'll try to link it if I can find it. And then the one on top is just kind of some standard grid washi. I think I also got that particular one on Amazon, but you can find grid washi almost anywhere. So I just stuck that down because I didn't think any of the others really fit or didn't pull in the black from the stamp like vellum sheet that I have covering the mini calendar and the weekly in the top right corner. By the way, those mini calendars and the weeklies, I always cover them up, always. I'm curious if anyone else does too. So now I'm just going back and I'm going to be pre-decorating the first week of dailies as well. I don't pre-decorate very often, but I'm curious to see if it will encourage me to fill out my dailies all the way through. Usually I have like at least 2 or 3 days out of the week where I don't fill out my daily, either don't fill it out all the way through or don't fill it out at all. I'm really bad on this, particularly on the weekends. I just don't open my journal, which is totally, it's totally fine. But unless I'm filming a plan with me or something, I don't really open my journal on the weekends. So I'm just pre-filling them in and kind of doing some random stuff with where the washi is placed and all that stuff to try to get myself to maybe have a little more fun with it throughout the week. You'll also notice that I'm just drawing in the delineating line between the left and the right side of the page with a pencil as well. Lots of people, use the daily section, one part for to-do lists on the left underneath the date, and one part for journaling on the right where there's a lot more room. So I'm just drawing that line in because it's a pretty easy way to pre-plan and pre-designate your pages so you don't have to do it all on the day you're planning. And now it's time for the final flip through. So I'm going to go back to my main monthly page, just give you guys another peek at that. I take the pencil board with me with that sticky note on it throughout the planner throughout the month, so that I always have sort of like a rolling to-do list with me no matter what page I'm on. And here's the flip through of the pages I pre-decorated, just kind of looking cute. I really like that it matches with the Hobonichi like monthly color. For May it's like this light green, and I really love that the washi tape matches, so I think I'm gonna try to stick with that throughout the week. Here's the first weekly section, and yeah, here's that cover page again with my trusty Today marker going in the middle of my journal. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you around the channel again soon.